Polygon Matic has officially made the move that we have been looking for the last couple months now. So let's not waste any more time at all and let's get straight into the video. So whenever we were talking about Matic over the last few months, what we were talking about was this level around $1.25. Now I told you all, this level is absolutely crucial. Why? There's a couple reasons. First and foremost, what we can see is that whenever we got this massive dump back here, whenever the Celsius crash happened and Voyager went under and all of that good stuff, the moment in time in which we really started to catch momentum to the downside, and the last low that we put in before that happened was sitting right around $1.25. Now, of course, this also did align with some of these previous points of resistance that we had back here, but this was the first true establishment of support, and you can see how much it stands out in this move, right? If we were going to look at this move as a 5-wave to the downside, let's go ahead and just get a 5-wave out here, boom. What you can see is we would call this a 1, a 2, we'd call this probably the 3 here, we maybe have a bit of a 4, and then a bit of a 5. Now, this is not in any way Elliot's wave theory, but you can see here in general, this is the move that we had, even if you want to call it this, right? I mean, one way or another, this did stand out as a massive point of support. Now, it was further confirmed as that massive point of support the moment that we saw the crash right before the FTX push did happen. Of course, we saw that FTX went under, and when FTX went under, we were sitting directly back at that same exact point that we were at prior to the Celsius crash. And so what you can see is that amongst all of this bad news and craziness, this is the level that is a massive determining factor of where we go next. Now, not only is it just that massive determining factor, but it also lines up directly with our 618 to 786 Fibonacci golden zone on the macros. What you can see is that from our all-time high to what I believe to be our last low, you can see that we have this 618 to 786 Fibonacci retracement level. Now, generally speaking, if you are capable of breaking the Fibonacci retracement level here, or the golden pocket, the golden zone, whatever you want to call it, you are generally in a good position to see a strong continuation to the upside, which does oftentimes lead to at least a new local high, if not a new all-time high, like in this example. So what you can see is that that $1.25 level is extremely important. We got into the golden zone and we cleared that massive point of bearish and bullish liquidity that we've seen right before all of the craziness happens within the market, like Celsius crashing, like FTX crashing, etc. Now, I do believe this to be kind of due to what we are seeing happening right now with the ecosystem as a whole. You can see here that Polygon Labs, the development and growth team for Polygon, announced that the beta version of its zero-knowledge Ethereum virtual machine, or a ZK EVM, would launch on March 27th, 2023, which is about 6 weeks, 5/6 weeks from now. It's possible that Polygon will enjoy a first-mover advantage in this space by launching a public mainnet before ZK Sync and Scroll. So they're the first ones to be able to really incorporate this tech within their blockchain, and I do believe that, again, like they said, puts them in a position to take advantage of the fact that they are first. ZK-based rollup technology is accepted as the gold standard for scaling. Now remember, scaling is a part of the trilemma that most cryptos do face. The existing optimistic-based rollups like Arbitrum and Optimism have EVM capability, but are less secure because they are fraud-proof. Malicious transactions on an optimistic rollup can stay valid for up to 7 days or more before being reversed, thus giving an advantage to ZK technology. And so what you can see, considering the fact that this is going to be crucial for the ecosystem as a whole in further development for Matic and for Polygon as we see it, I do believe that this is most of the reason as to why we are seeing so much growth here. Now, there is an opportunity for there to be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. I don't necessarily see that being a major factor because this move has been occurring way before the ZK rollup was even announced, but I do believe this rally that we are seeing right now could be because of that. And, you know, given the fact that that's somewhere right around, let's call it March 26th, that is somewhere right around here, I do think that, you know, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary to see some type of pullback happen afterwards, and maybe some type of slowdown as Matic does kind of catch up with the rest of the market. Do understand one thing, Matic is going to fall back in line with the market. These cryptos just always do that, and it will have a moment of boringness in which we can jump in and go through a little bit of accumulation, but we're breaking out of a moment of boringness. This was in sideways movement for quite a while, and I do believe it is now just time for it to break that. It is now time for it to start to gain some of its momentum back and continue. We talked about this all of last year, that Polygon Matic has been a fantastic position in which it has been just growing growing its ecosystem and its overall mass adoption, and we're finally reaping the rewards of it. So because of that, where I'm at this given point is that this thing is in a fantastic spot. Would I really be doing massive accumulation while we are in the golden pocket? No, not necessarily. We are of course seeing higher highs playing out on the price, with lower highs playing out on the RSI, and an overall extension right up to where we usually do get rejected here on the daily RSI, and that usually just tells me that some type of pullback could be on the way. But I am not one to ever count on Matic. I'm personally not selling any of my Matic unless I'm taking small profits, and I am so dollar cost averaging every single Wednesday on it, simply because I do think that it has a lot of potential in the long term. The next two goals for Matic at this given point are first and foremost to break $1.50. Of course, $1.50 is simply just a strong psychological level, and we can see that that level has acted as some support before, and also resistance right before we saw that massive capitulation to the downside. So I would expect $1.50 to be a bit of a task, and once that is cleared, we are then looking to clear $1.81, which is crazy because it just seems like just recently we were able to buy it right on 30, 40, 50 cents. And so what I'd be looking for is $1.50 first, $1.80 second. If it's capable of breaking those two levels, guys, we're probably going to see that new all-time high play out sooner rather than later. Usually speaking, when you break that 786 level, you are in sight of now reaching that all-time high, and there's very little resistance that usually will take place to push the price away from it. And so I do think that's, this is kind of the door, and we're walking up to it as we speak. So of course, as I mentioned before, do be very careful as we do approach March 27th and March 26th, because we will likely see a sell the news event happen, and we may see a little bit of craziness leading up to it before that correction. So maybe taking advantage of it, accumulating a little bit now with an expectation to take some profits around that time wouldn't be a terrible idea. But overall, again, I'm not selling any of my Matic right now. I'd rather just wait out some type of possible correction, let it do its thing, and then into next year, look for even more growth, because I do believe it's going to happen. So don't forget that I do send out all of this information in my newsletter. As you can see here, I pretty much talked about this in a very summarized version about Polygon Matic and about all of the other top 10 cryptos. This is completely for free. It is in the link in the description below. You can get access to some of the news. You can get access to my technical analysis, my thoughts, my portfolios, and more. And again, that is all down below. But overall, I'm getting extremely and incredibly more and more bullish for Matic over the long term. I think that it is, again, one of the top performers of the next bull market, and we're not even there yet. So I will, of course, continue to update you as that does happen. And if you do enjoy the content, make sure you do like this video so more Polygon Matic fans see it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one. But I will see you all very soon. Peace.